This week on Lexington Now, 100 miles of bikeways, food for fines, and the Friends of the Senior Center. Welcome to the Thanksgiving edition of Lexington Now for 2019. I'm your host, Neil Noah. We kick off this week's show with the news that Lexington has surpassed the 100-mile mark for paved bikeways. We joined Mayor Gorton and others for the announcement.
Good morning. I want to welcome council members Kathy Ploman and Susan Lamb this morning, and Keith Lovin is here with us, and each of them will speak in a minute. This Thanksgiving week, many of us will be talking about what we're thankful for. There are many, many things I'm thankful for in Lexington, including the people who had the foresight to start investing in bike trails and bike lanes many years ago. As a result, citizens today have opportunities to get outdoors and enjoy some exercise or to bike to work or school, even on a day like today. Today we're celebrating completion of the city's 100th mile of paved bikeway, a huge milestone. The 100 miles includes paved surfaces designated for bike use, such as bike lanes, lanes shared with vehicles, and shared use trails. We've still got a long way to go, but 100 miles puts us over 1/3 of the way to the full build-out of our bicycle network. The city reached 100 miles along this very trail, the West Hickman Trail in Veterans Park. The trail is a shared-use greenway trail that connects Veterans Park and Veterans Park Elementary School to an existing on-street bikeway system. Now, council members Kathy Ploman and Susan Lamb both represent Veterans Park. So Kathy and Susan, can you each talk a little bit about the importance of bike trails and lanes in this area? And we'll start with Kathy and then Susan.
Thank you, Mayor. And as you said, this is a milestone. The 100th mile in our community is quite a feat, and we're so excited. I'm especially excited to have it in the 12th District, because really in the 12th District we have some of the pretty scenery and just the beauty of our city in our county. It's also close to a lot of vibrant neighborhoods here, so they'll be able to take advantage of that. And I think it speaks to the city's commitment to connectivity and also the healthy aspect of it, getting out to walk, getting out to run, getting out to bike. That's a wonderful benefit that we have here in Lexington and in our counties. So congratulations to us.
And there's not too much more to be said. It's exciting that we actually can connect both sides of the Veterans Park so that people can, I think it's 1.5 miles long, and we can connect from the Veterans Elementary into the Cumberland and the Pinnacle neighborhoods, and it's just really exciting, promoting health and awareness of bicycle and all the trails here. Anyway, it's really exciting, and I look forward to, on a warmer day, being able to walk and bike in this trail. And thanks so much for everybody that's been involved in this project. It just shows you what collaboration in our city does, and we're so excited to be a part of this. So thank you, Mayor.
Thank you very much. Now, you can put on more clothing and use this in the winter. We don't want people to think this is only a summer trail.
This is true. True.
Now, let's hear from City Engineer Keith Lovin, who has been part of building and planning Lexington's bike lanes and trails for 2 decades. Keith, can you talk just a little bit about our plans for the future?
This, like the mayor said, this is the trail that put us over 100 miles. We've been working on improving our bike community for about 20 years, and we couldn't have done it without the support of the Urban County Council and our previous mayors, and of course Mayor Gorton. This trail is connecting neighborhoods to shopping areas to schools, and so finally we are able to actually, when we build these trails, actually connect to things. For years we were just building where we could, and this is actually a connecting trail. I'd also like to thank Banks Engineering, who was the engineer for the trail, and the Allen Company, who actually constructed the trail. Everything worked perfectly. This neighborhood really supports it. They're out here pretty much all the time. This is going to be a very heavily used trail, and so we're very excited to see this project completed. So thank you.
And we already have a few people this morning on the trail. So thank you all so much. Stay tuned. We want more and more and more bike trails, and we want to get to our goal. The sooner the better. Rollerblading, walking, biking, this is multi-use. So there's much more to come. Thank you all for attending.
Thanksgiving week also marks the kickoff of Lex Park's annual Food for Fines drive to help needy families this holiday season. Gary Means fills us in on the details.
Food for Fines starts on Monday, November the 25th, and runs for 4 weeks until Friday, December the 20th. Food for Fines is now in its 6th year, and we're super excited to run it again. It started with an idea of coming from our staff, we had heard of Toys for Tickets, and then we'd also heard of Food for Fines. One other city, I think it was Boston, did Toys for Tickets. Some universities were doing Food for Fines back then, but there wasn't a lot of examples of it. So it was kind of something we thought we'd try out for a year, and it was a huge success, and we've continued to do it every year. The way it works is you bring in 10 cans, and that'll get you $15 off any citation that you have. Even if you have multiples of citations, you can bring in tons of cans. So we've had tremendous success each year. We average about 8,000 items donated each year, but we've collected nearly 18 tons of food, which amounts to about 30,000 meals. We work with God's Pantry, and that's what they reported to us, but it's been super successful. You can go on our website and then look, and that is lexpark.org, and then look up pay a citation. Click on that. It doesn't mean you're going to have to pay anything, but if you put in your license plate or maybe your name and address, but try your license plate of any vehicles you've had or owned in the last couple of years, and that'll pull up any citations that you might have. I always like to say this Food for Fines program is like a perfect storm. Nobody likes to get a ticket, but people like to help people, and some people have a lot of tickets. And so we've had a couple come in. One time there was I think it was like a boyfriend and girlfriend, and they had these 2 huge Kroger bags full of I think one of them had like 6 citations, the other one had 2, but they were paying off 8 total. We've had somebody bring in a suitcase full of cans. And so we've also gone out and helped people get it out of their trunk. We'll do that. We've got a dolly, and you can holler at us, and we'll go out there and help you bring in all your cans. So the program takes place at the Lex Park office located at 122 North Broadway, and they are open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
How you can help the Lexington Senior Center when we come back.
Happy Thanksgiving!
This year I'm thankful primarily for family and friends and my coworkers.
Let's see, I'm happy. Let me start over.
This year I'm thankful that I finally got my dream job as a Lexington firefighter.
I'm thankful for my backpack full of vitamins that I need to get me through a single day.
Basically, I've had a little bit of health stuff going on at the end of this year, and you never really know how big of a support system you have until something like that happens.
I'm thankful for that
I'm thankful for my kids, my husband, and my entire family.
I'm thankful for my family, my kids, and especially my grandson, Wesley.
I'm full of gratitude this year for the people around me, and I hope to be able to repay them sometime.
Great, I got it. I'm thankful that I'm 1 year away from retirement, that roll call is over for the day, and happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Welcome back to Lexington Now. Lexington Senior Center has, by all measures, been a huge success, but there are still needs to be met. Here's how you can help.
Hi, my name is Gail Reese, and I am representing the Friends of the Lexington Senior Center. We're a relatively new nonprofit, a 501c3, whose mission is to fill the gap between the city's budget and our beautiful senior center already has and what we may need in the future. We have 2 funds set up at the Bluegrass Community Foundation, and we will accept any gift any kind of way. You can give us something by credit card, you can give us stock, you could give us an IRA distribution, insurance. You can basically give us anything and we'll work it out. The Senior Center has made a tremendous difference to the people of Fayette County and Lexington. Our numbers have grown exponentially since we moved to the new center. It is a state-of-the-art center thanks to the staff and the design of it and all the people who are attending. We are a wonderful mix and diversity of people, and we want to continue through the years, but we do need funding to make sure that all the treadmills are kept up to date, the building's kept up to date, so we're asking for your support. You can go online at LexingtonSeniorCenterFriends.org and go to the donate page. You can go to Bluegrass Community Foundation and look for Friends of the Lexington Senior Center, or you can drop by the Senior Center and just give us a check. We would certainly appreciate it. 501c3, everything's tax deductible. Thank you.
Heather Diefenbach, the new Executive Director for the Lexington Public Library, shares her vision of the library's future and plans for greater accessibility going forward.
My name is Heather Diefenbach, and I'm the new Executive Director of the Lexington Public Library. I became Executive Director about 3 months ago, but I started my career at the Beaumont branch as a children's librarian, where I was there for about 10 years. Part of my background, like I said, I came from a very strong library background, but I'm also the mom of a child with special needs. So it's very important to me to make sure that the library is accessible to everyone in our community and that it is welcoming to everyone in our community. So a big part of my vision as director of the Lexington Public Library is to improve access and make sure that we are welcoming everyone. And we're doing this in a multitude of ways. One way is through programming. We've expanded our programming to include programs specially for people with disabilities in our community. At our Beaumont branch, we're doing a program called Any Ability, which invites individuals with disabilities to come in and do crafts and work together and learn and explore all of the different resources we have in the library. We also, here at the Central Library, every month have sensory-friendly movies. So people who might have trouble with all of the noise in a movie, might have trouble sitting still in their seats, can come in. We have the lights turned on brighter. We turn the sound down, and it's perfectly okay for people to get up and walk around, do whatever they need to do to feel comfortable in the program. Another part of making sure our libraries are accessible to our community is to consider that not everybody can easily make it into the library. One thing that we've done is introduced auto renewals. So the way that works is if you have a book checked out and you'd like to keep it a little longer, you no longer have to call the library to renew it. Unless there's a holdout on that book, it will automatically renew for you, honestly, until you return it or until a hold is placed on it. So that has been really beneficial for the community. They can keep the books as long as they want and enjoy them without having to worry about contacting us or bringing them back to the library before they're done with them. The other way that people access our libraries is not always through our physical locations, but also online. Our e-books, our e-magazines, e-audiobooks are extremely popular, and what we call our virtual branch, which is all of those electronic virtual materials, actually are more popular than all of the materials located at any of our one locations. So that's been a really interesting way that our community has been accessing our libraries, and one that we are building so that we are providing access to more and more people throughout our community. And then I think people will be surprised about what they see when they come into our libraries. We're working to make sure our libraries are not only more comfortable, but also more flexible. We've had city council people who come right into the middle of the library and hold a meeting for their constituents. Use of our meeting space is extremely popular right now. People in our community are looking for places where they can come together and gather and learn from each other. For more information about this or our other programs, you can visit any of our library locations or visit us online at www.lexpublib.org.
Thanksgiving is here, and if you're enjoying a fried turkey this season, the young scholars at Redwood School can tell you how to get rid of all that oil safely and some other tips on helping the environment.
I'm out at the Redwood School to talk about the gobble grease toss and interview some of the students about it. This annual event is where we collect used cooking oil from citizens who've fried turkeys on Thanksgiving.
I think it's important to take care of the earth because I imagined it. I don't think it's actually true, but I imagine that every time someone litters, the rain is the earth's tears.
Well, it's important to take care of the earth because, well, if it gets bad, it will just stay like that, probably. So, and litter will, on the streets, will probably get into our water that comes down from the sky. And it will pollute our water, and then we won't have any good, clean drinking water. Because that'll go into sewers, and then it'll go into lakes or streams, and yeah.
Well, because we only have one Earth, and we live in it, and it's gonna be that way for a long time. So we should take care of it while we can, because it's where animals and people live.
My class is doing a thing where we recycle paper and turn it into paper beads and fire starters, and we sold it at our fall festival, and we're having a maker's fair and we're selling it at that.
We compost things from our lunches at school, and it turns into soil that I think we use in our gardens.
We have an aquaponics tank in our class, and we had 10 fish, but 2 died. And we're starting to grow plants in the top. The fish produce waste, which helps feed the plants, and then the plants help filter the water for the fish.
I don't use plastic like that much. Like I use metal straws and stuff because plastic eventually gets into the ocean and kills turtles and stuff.
So we have 2 chicken coops, one right there and then the one back there. And we collect the eggs. Instead of buying eggs to make food and stuff, we use the eggs that we collect here and use them to make projects and stuff.
I make sure I put the recycling in the recycling and the garbage in the garbage.
10 to 15 pounds of oil just to fry one turkey. So then it's really bad for your drains and for the whole environment to pour all that oil down into your drains. And it's not good to have it put into a landfill because then it produces leachate and it'll influence the whole earth.
So we bring the cooking oil we got at the Gobble Grease Toss to UK, and then they turn it into biofuels, which is an alternative for diesel fuel.
We're so excited to be partnering with the City of Lexington and the University of Kentucky Center for Applied Energy Research and Kelly Green Biofuels again for another year to help our city be more green this holiday season. And please come and see us. Last year we were able to collect over 400 gallons of used cooking oil, and we would love to do it again and help our city recycle their used oil.
So if you are a turkey fryer, then you can bring your used cooking oil to the Redwood School the day after Thanksgiving from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. to collect your used cooking oil so that it's recycled into biodiesel.
LFUCG offices will be closed for Thanksgiving both Thursday and Friday, and with the holiday closures, there is no Lex TV meeting coverage this week. But when there is, you can find it on channel 185 or find our archives at lexingtonky.gov or other coverage on our YouTube page. That'll do it for this week, but as always, you can keep up with us on social media, check out the latest traffic updates on Twitter @LexRex, or catch our live traffic cams on lexingtonky.gov. For all of us at Lex TV, I'm Neil Noah, and that's it for now.